What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Horror Conversations. We were talking to you about Carolina Fear Fest horror conversations and horror movies all around. I'm your host, Mick Manhattan, usually joined by Destiny and Stephanie here. But today, the Chief Demon is here. How are you, Stephanie?
I am doing good. How about you?
I am doing well. I'm super excited. Christmas is here. I love Christmas, and it's like second Halloween, but with toys instead of candy. I'm all for it.
Hey, there's still candy if you do Christmas right.
That's true. None of the tangerine stuff they do over in the UK. I don't want any fruit. You give me my candy. Yeah, I am. When it comes to Christmas, I get all filled with happiness and positivity and joy, but there is some deep-seated darkness to it too, just like the rest of you listening out there. And we like our horror as well, and Christmas horror goes kind of side by side with Christmas. I mean, look at the Christmas Carol. It's the original ghost story, right? So we're here to talk about some Christmas ideas for your decor, and we're going to talk about the convention coming up, 5 Years of Fear. Hopefully you'll be there. So let's get into it a little bit. So what's going on with the planning so far? You're going into the new year, and that's when it really starts to ramp up.
Yes.
So anything any new ideas or plans that you can talk to coming?
There's nothing specific besides another name that we can drop tonight, just early for you all. The tickets that we have, the early bird special for the weekend passes, that actually ends New Year's Eve. Midnight, New Year's Eve. So if anybody is looking, it's a great, if you know you've got a horror fan in your life, it's a great way to throw a present very quickly together. And that's gonna, like I said, we've got 2 more weeks, I guess, basically.
Yeah, you want to get those early bird prices for sure. You want to get in there and get those weekend passes, or especially the VIP. They go fast, and I feel like once you guys usually hit January, that's when they really start like revving up and going. And with the people I talk to, they want to get them early because the VIP is a pretty special deal.
The VIP is not out as a special price, but we have dropped the VIP tickets, and we're doing those a little bit different this year than we did last year. And they have sold out the last 2 years. So definitely would keep an eye on the VIPs. If that's the direction you want to go, you don't want to wait too late for those. The weekend passes at this point, we don't expect to sell out. We've got a lot of room in our big giant building. So we're not expecting to end up selling out of any of the day passes or the weekend passes as we get closer. But definitely the early price on getting those, the weekend passes for that last year's price that we held over. But the VIPs, we're doing it a little bit different. So I always hate the VIP packages you see at whatever random events where it's kind of stupid expensive, but it goes, oh, it includes this and this and this and this. And you go, but I don't care about 3 of those things. So I feel like I'm paying for an open bar at a thing I don't want to go to, or, whatever the case is. So we were always keeping our VIP tickets a little bit lower because we wanted to let people a la carte in. And then we gave our VIPs the chance to buy into some of those extra things just at a little bit of a better price. And what we decided to do this year was go ahead and include that Saturday night party, which was the big one.
Nice. Cool.
But knowing that not everybody wants to go or can't go to the Saturday night party, they have the option when they buy their tickets to choose whether they want to do the Saturday night party or get a merch certificate that they can use at our merch table at the convention. So if they want, they can add to their swag bag over at our merch table and get t-shirts and whatever we happen to have. And we usually have a lot of our stuff from previous years. I always tend to over order, so I've got all the things. But it's that chance to it's that chance to still let people kind of make a decision without it being too confusing and without it being too much. Because I don't want to charge people like $250, $300 for a VIP ticket, and they don't want to go karaoke or go to the whatever thing or so. it's just as we grow and we start adding all those sideline entertainment things, I want to try and keep the VIPs a little flexible, let people choose a little bit. That way they can kind of customize the package they actually want.
You know what's I love that you said that, and that's such an amazing idea, because I go to a lot of conventions. I have never bought a VIP pass because it's always been something where it's like, yeah, I mean, it's great, but that's a lot of money, and I don't want most of the stuff that you're giving here. I just want like this one thing or this, those two things. And 100%, like the fact that you're giving an option is fantastic. Right there, like take that and buy little gifts for next Christmas.
Yeah, well, it's that or scaling up and doing some tiered VIPs. So the people that just want early access and maybe front row seats at a panel and don't care about the other things have a less expensive VIP than somebody that wants one photograph, one autograph, one. The Saturday night party, whatever the case is, those extra expenses, I'm kind of like with you. I would kind of, in some cases, I'd rather keep my extra $100 so that I can spend it where I want to spend it, and not be kind of pigeonholed into a thing. But
I think. Sorry, I was just going to say about that one piece with the early access and stuff, and the VIP giving you that. One thing I really like about it. And you've been doing it for a few years now, which I've seen like progress and get bigger and better. And everybody should take away from this, like getting your VIP passes and even your weekend passes to a degree. You buy most of those and you're in line. You're in line for pretty much the whole time trying to get that thing. That's always been my way. You get that extra night to go in, and I've never seen anybody waiting on too long of a line to meet people. There's always some fun stuff going on. And it's just open. It feels more like an opening night party than it does an actual getting an extra night at the convention, but you get all of those perks too.
Well, I like the fact that the crowd's less than it always is going to be on a Saturday, and you can kind of plan your attack because you're going to be there for multiple days. And I'm the kind of person that if there's somebody that I know is going to have a big line or they're my must get conversation, I'm going to try and get to them first thing Friday night, but at least I have my option. If I get there early enough, I might be the first through the door on Saturday and get a chance to start that line. But the other thing is I like to shop the conventions. Like I like to walk the whole place and look at all the stuff and then go back around later and like make decisions. Cause I don't want to go to the first booth, fall in love with the first thing, and then go, well, that's it. That's the only thing I'm buying now. Because when I find the next 8 cool things, I can't afford to just buy everything. So, I like to shop and make sure I kind of have a good lay of the land. So the weekend pass is always great for that. It gives you so much time to do that. You've got plenty of time on Friday night, and it's a little bit more of a party vibe,
I think the word
trying to have more entertainment, more fun. The VIPs, we do food or a dinner or something like that. You've got all weekend long, so that night you don't have quite that sense of urgency that you might have the rest of the weekend. So I think the party by word of mouth alone is going to attract more people towards it, because last year we had a really good turnout for it, and people were had so much fun with the games and everything going on that I could definitely see it being big, because there are already people who didn't go last year. It was like, I heard it was good last year, I want to go. I was like, it wasn't good for me. Well, I mean, just because we like to say that we want to put on the con that everybody expects, but also do it a little bit different. And things like the Saturday night party, for me, that's the thing. If you want to go to a bar and drink and sing karaoke, you've got a million options in Raleigh. I mean, there's bunches of places you can go, and that's not my thing. So like, I don't want to go sing karaoke. I don't really want to go and drink enough to deal with listening to other people sing karaoke. So for me, that's not a great party to go to. So throwing that option out there of doing things a little bit different, trying to play games, lots of giveaways, just, a chance to hang out and have fun among your people and have a different kind of a night out than you can do on any random Tuesday, So we've got ideas. We've got a few years worth of ideas. We just have to make them, find one to flesh it out and make it a thing.
And just to give everybody kind of heads up on it, like the party last year, and I don't want to give anything away because you got to attend and know. And we have some cool themes, and they will be announced. But like the party last year was a lot of fun. I was sick, that's why it wasn't fun for me. But it was a great time, and I didn't want to leave. This year, though, and again, not saying anything, no spoilers. You're going to want to see this. I am very excited for the theme for this year.
Yeah, I still have to get all those details worked out. We might have to go to one of our other themes, but
either way, all of them that you said have been good.
Yeah, and for those that missed it last year, we played Let's Make a Deal with the Devil. So we did the little purse game where we said, the first person with whatever weird shit thing in their pockets, come on up. And then that's how we kind of gathered our contestants. We pulled birthday people, different things like that, and different games. And we had the spinny wheel for prizes. We played just literally stupid games. Like we had the big yard dice, and we had two contestants and they were rolling off against each other. First one to get to 666 won a prize. And I had so many great prizes that were given to us we were, sponsored with the chocolate people. They gave me a great deal, and I ordered in all that great chocolate. And we had some other things sitting out. We had so many prizes. I think you were gone at this point. I was already a handful of themed drinks into the evening, and I was tired. And we'd been playing games for forever. And I finally just went, you know what? There's a bunch of crap left. And it's like mosh pit. Y'all fight over it. Like, have at it. Just
so much
whoever
stuff.
comes up with chocolate in their hand and no blood is a winner. I don't care. And they all just came up and everybody took stuff. It was great.
This year I am in a containment center for the week before. I'm not eating anything but crackers and drinking water. I am so stoked because no matter whatever theme we go for, because just being privy to the conversations, I'm so excited for it. It is because, and to kind of emphasize this for all of you who are going to come, what's cool about it is, again, it has the same sort of vibe that's different from most conventions in terms of space. So I've been to a lot of the parties. They've been a lot of fun. This one has a weird, there's a lot of space, but it's a type of where you were and the way you planned it out. And I should say that the way you kind of set everything up gave a lot for people to interact. And people they were really getting into it, interacting with each other. And I think that's really important. I think that's what you do at the convention, and that's what you do at the party now. And that's great.
Yeah. We know that we're in too big of a building for the crowd we currently have. So as we market ourselves and grow, obviously our number of attendees is going to go up. We have a lot of room to absorb that growth and still not feel like we're too tight in that building. And so I'm really happy about that, because we like the fact that people can be standing on either side of an aisle looking at vendor stuff, and you still have room to walk down the middle. And you don't feel like you're doing this to go through, and you don't get partway through and you're just like, I can't breathe. I need to get out. Stop peopling. You just don't feel that way. And we really like that. We want to keep that feeling about it as long as we can. And we have, there's already plans in the back of my head for, we hit a growth point where that building starts to feel too full, and what we're going to do next. So
it's
going to be amazing, even if it grows to the point where it feels like there's too many people in there.
I agree. But even now, it's packed. I meet so many people there, and I'm fortunate enough to meet so many great people, but it's always packed. But at the same time, the venue never feels like you said, you can stand in the middle of the walkway and hundreds of people are going to pass you, but it doesn't feel like you're getting pushed anywhere. It's just enough space, just to walk and relax. And I feel like that invites it. It's a safe environment. People feel safe in that, because it's open. There's people around. It feels good. It feels more like a courtyard in a lot of ways. So I've always liked that feel to it. Especially a big guy who doesn't like to be contained anyway.
Well, we went to the Christmas Carousel show, which is here in Raleigh, and it's a Christmas. So it's crafts and it's all vendors. That's all it is. and it's in the same building we're in. And they've been doing it for a very long time. It was something that they do every Thanksgiving weekend. It was a tradition with the family, like, we'd get with mom the next day, we'd head down there. And so I kind of wanted to go again since I had a little bit of free time for the once in a long time. And it was absolutely insane. There were so many people in there, but the way they set it up, it was very tight. And I understand what they did and why they did it, because I can look at the floor plan and know exactly what all they've blocked off and what they've done. But it has a totally different feel walking through there than it does walking through ours, because like, okay, we're at the back of the building, the bathrooms are at the front, and I really want to leave. So like now we have to work our way to the front again. And it was just trying to keep the Christmas spirit and not go, look, mother, get out of my way. You and your stroller need to go that way. Get out of my way.
You keep the flow with it.
Yeah, it's good though. I mean, we really, I feel like we still have a lot of room before we get to the point where we feel like we're really, kind of shoving too many people in there. And then we have some expansion ideas and ways that we can do that. So it's going to be good even when we get to that point, I think. So.
And I do want to say to you guys, like, if you guys have like special, like, because coming up on a 5th anniversary the next year, so make sure you get your tickets first and foremost, and make sure you get out there because it's gonna be a lot of fun. And always feel free to say hello to any of us because we have a great time doing it. But I do want to point out
we also need to have all of the regulars, because what we see at these shows are at our show tends to be a very, very large core group that comes every year. And that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. But part of our growth is going to be that we need new people to start coming. And I think the best way is that core group of people that know they're coming, find a friend, sacrifice the virgin, bring them to their first horror con. We'll take them. And then that way we can, that'll help. The grassroots growth is always the best. Bring that friend that's never been to this kind of thing before and let them experience it. And it's, I think that's a really good thing. And I don't mind the people that have been to all the other horror cons too, because like I said, we like to do things a little bit different. So I kind of enjoy those people that are loyal to their other cons that they're close to, because we do it a little different. They're going to see a lot of familiar faces, but it's still hopefully a different experience for them.
And taking that too would be really cool for all of the core group that kind of comes, and anyone who's been and really enjoyed it, or is planning on coming. If you could just share that out, share some memories, or if you have pictures, or but definitely share your memories. Make a video, just be like, hey, I really loved this year when I met this person, or whatever your memory is, and just use hashtags like hashtag CFF24 or hashtag 5 years of fear or something like that. So we can get to it, but definitely hashtag CFF will help us find it. And we want to use that because it is 5 years, such a big deal. That's huge. And it's just only going to get bigger from there. We want you guys to be a part of it, and tell your friends, make sure they come out too, and spread the word to everyone. So that would be great. A lot of people actually are here. Matt Burns, what's up, buddy? Hard Chills Cinema Television, what's going on? Stephen Timothy Hodges says, hey folks, what's up, Stephen? Thanks for joining in tonight. Chris Press says it's bigger than some Halloween conventions. I believe it.
I think he might have been referring to that Christmas carousel show. Like, it's kind of insane. But yeah, and I did look and I noticed the obvious giant hole they had in their shopping options, which was there was no dark oddities, gothic, horror, Christmas options.
Yeah, it is. And that's the thing. And to get to, because I had some ideas for that, but just to get through real quick, Steven says venue is great. It really is. You're right. Shannon, hey, how you doing? Thanks for joining in. And Chris wants to know, when are vendors allowed to purchase spots?
So the vendor application is live. It's out there for everybody. And I believe the links, there was a post on social. I believe that the website is updated with the, he's correcting us. But I believe that the link for vendors is on the website that's been open. And Chris, you've got me on Facebook, so if for some reason you can't find the link, just let me know. I got you.
I'm gonna put it right in the comments right now, so you should be able to find it. There you go, sir. You go sign up, sir. We appreciate you. They're on both the YouTubes and the Facebook page. So you guys have that in the comments, and I will make sure to jump on the Facebook page and post that, so that way you guys have it. But thank you, and I appreciate that. And you're right, like it is bigger than some of those. You know, I'm again get to go and travel and see a lot, and like I'm a big guy. Like I like the room. I like because it's more inviting again. Like I feel like if everybody's on each other, nobody talks. You don't get that community feel. I've never. For me personally, and I'm only speaking for me personally, and I'm not speaking bad about anybody else, but like for me at other conventions, I'm so happy I've got to meet and had the ability to meet people at this one like I haven't at others. So maybe that's something to take away from that. But I do love it. Now, you were talking about decor, and I was thinking about, I know a lot of people who are horror fans, and they do Christmas horror decor. And we were talking about our gift guide last month's episode, so I want to talk about it is for 23, not 24. All right, we'll get that figured out for you, and we'll get it out to you, my friend.
I will try and pull that right now.
So so I was thinking about what is the best option, because there's no real direct option. Like you can go buy it somewhere or on Etsy, people do it, but like if you make your own, I've been thinking about it since with that last episode. You should be at the conventions throughout the year, especially when you're at CFF, looking through the vendors and finding the things, plan it out. Like if you want to make a wreath of something, you're going to find tons of horror stuff to put in it, or on tree decorations and stuff like that. Like, so I thought it would be fun. I'm going to pull up this. I went to Pinterest. I Pinterested it. And I don't know if that is good, bad, or now I've sold my soul, but I'm going to go for it. So a lot of this stuff I look at, I know Christmas, Nightmare Before Christmas is a big one, but this is some cool stuff. And I bet you can find a lot of this stuff. Damn it, hovering over stuff. I bet you could find a lot of this stuff at the convention vendor tables. And for any vendors who may be watching or listening at some point, I might want to think about this. This could be a lucrative type. Like there's got some cool ideas here.
I don't think we see very much of it at ours, just because it is in May and people are just getting into summer thoughts. It's a little bit early. But if you do carry Christmas stuff and you're a vendor, having a little bit of that at every show, just to show off, if nothing else, helps people remember. But there's a lot of horror cons that are happening in that September-October timeframe. And those are the ones that absolutely those vendors should be capitalizing on Christmas if they have it. Just because you are so much closer, people are actually really getting into it.
I will tell you, being like doing the Scene Snobs and things like that, and knowing a lot of horror people, especially from CFF, this time of year, I do hear people talk a lot about horror decor, and they want they would prefer like horror gifts. And that's another thing too. Like, yeah, it may be May, but like I'm telling you right now, I'm still thinking about gifts, and I would have preferred to have it done by May. So that's all I'm saying is, like, when you have the opportunity and these conventions don't always come around, maybe think about some of these vendor tables outside of just in the moment. Like, what do they have to offer for me now, in terms of like what celebrities are there, this, that, and the other thing. But also think about, like, you know what? My cousin's birthday is coming up. They love sleepaway camp. Let me go out and find something sleepaway camp. That's gifts right there. And like Stephanie said, for vendors, bring stuff out, just even if it's samples, so that way they can order from you. We talked
a little bit at the last show about, like, however you keep things organized in your brain, whether it's collecting business cards, taking photos of booths, taking literally writing notes, paper and pen, or on your phone. So you have that reference point. So when you're going, okay, it's now November and I have to get my Secret Santa loves horror. I want to get crafty at home. Whatever your idea is, you already kind of have your go-to list of people you want to go check out, whatever their current offerings are, because you might come see them in May and they don't have it out because it's too early in the year, or they may decide to expand their offering and start making new things, and they don't do that until after our show, and you wouldn't know they're doing it unless you're keeping tabs on the people you enjoy. So
exactly,
always a good idea to keep pinging them back.
I've always, like, I keep a little bag where I put the cards that I get in so I can go through them when I get home, or like, you know, whatever the things are that I get. Like, some people give me stickers and stuff, but it's good to be able to go back and look at that. I will say, here, actually, let me post here you go. Here's the vendor sign up. That's the proper link for next year. So that's out there. Let me know if you need anything else, and I'm happy to share it there. So, you know, thinking about that and thinking about, you know, when you're at the vendors tables, like, but then cross over to the guest side of it, you know, like maybe, you know, somebody who couldn't get an autograph, and that would make a really cool gift. I used to do that a lot at conventions, and I still do, even in, like, you know, CFF, if somebody can't make it because we have people come from Michigan, New York, all over, and then sometimes they'll ask me to pick stuff up for them and send it to them, and like, hey, do you think you can find this or an autograph or something like that? And I'll do it. That's another thing too. Remember that? And
especially because, and I think most of the celebrities prefer to personalize, because they know it isn't going to just turn around and end up on like eBay or whatever, because it's personalized. So if you have that friend, having that personalized signed photo, it just hits different than you went out and found one that was just generically signed. So it's always a good gift if you've got somebody that's got favorites.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the cool thing about it is too, these vendor tables have specialized stuff. So let's say you get Amy Steele from Friday the 13th is going to be there next year, and you have a friend who loves Friday the 13th, loves Jason. Those vendors are going to have a ton of Friday the 13th and especially Friday the 13th Part 2 stuff for you to sign. And again, personalized, if you want to get it for your dad, your brother, your sister, whoever else. Think about that ahead of time. Like, you know, make sure you plan ahead. Stuff will be there, or I'm sure you can bring stuff from the sign or whatever, but like, that's an autograph right there. But make sure you're checking all of those boxes when you're at these conventions, because again, I'm not just speaking for Christmas, but I'm speaking for all year round. I often find myself wishing I had picked up stuff like for Halloween, a decoration or this, that, or the other thing.
Yeah. The other thing that's nice about the time of year that we hit in May is that a lot of these vendors, they're artists, they're producing all year long. Mm-hmm. And so you could hit them in May and say, I love this thing, but it's not in the right color to match my whatever room, and they'll customize for you, and you've got time to do that. And if you're asking for something customized, or actually commissioning them to do a thing specifically for you, you know, you could absolutely have plenty of time to get that in time for Christmas. I like to think of the little like zombie garden gnomes, like the little different garden. You get somebody who makes them with Santa hats, so you can swap them out at Christmas time, you know, that kind of. You know, you've got plenty of time to dig in, but yeah, it's always good to be thinking ahead, because those conventions are not every weekend. And so if you're like, somebody's birthday is coming up in a couple of months, or trying to think ahead to Christmas, definitely kind of have that in the back of your head when you're walking around any of these cons, because it's so much easier when they're right in front of you than trying to remember and find them later.
And to stay in the know for it all too, you got to make sure you're following us, so you know what vendors are going to be there, what's going on at the time, what's available, guests, and plan ahead. That's the best thing to do when it comes to a horror convention, in my opinion, is plan ahead. You know, you get the map, you get everything's right on the website, so you can get it all, and then just knock it out. And I feel like if you knock out the points early, it's always been me in conventions, the rest is fun. Let's go meet people. Let's go talk to people. I got the stuff I wanted, but now it's browsing. Now what else am I going to pick up? And that's the time where you're going to have, okay, whose birthday's coming up? Who's this? Who's that? So, but I think as we're kind of winding down, we have a special announcement to make.
We do. If you want me to go ahead and do that now, we can.
You're the boss. I do what you say.
So, a lot of folks out there already know we have our email insider list. So those folks usually get an email sent to them before we announce things out on social or publicly. And tomorrow, our email insiders are going to get this email, but we also kind of schedule all of it around the horror conversations as well. So I can drop our next guest name here, and then the email people find out, and then the Facebook and the Instagram find out next week. So we have one that I'm pretty excited about from a franchise we have not hit on yet. I don't believe we've had anybody from this franchise at all yet. Sorry. We have really excited to be bringing in Costas Mandylor, who is very well known from the Saw series. I want to say 5 different of the Saw movies. I know there's another Saw coming out. I'm not sure. It wasn't on his upcoming list on IMDb, but I'm not sure how accurate that is. So he may or may not be part of it. I know I'm behind on the Saw series myself. But in conversation with a few people I've talked to about his coming in, they were saying that to continue on without he's like next in line to run with the franchise. Like they could very easily run a storyline off of him. So I just think that's very exciting. I mean, he's obviously a very integral part of the series if that's where his character arc has gone. So,
and he's been, they kind of set it up with the last one. So in an interesting way, bringing Tobin Bell back and stuff like that. So who knows where it could go? And just because he's not in upcoming now, who knows, that can change like that. They just announced the other day that it was greenlit, so it might not even been added. So I'm definitely excited to see. And he says Fist of the North Star live action. Okay, awesome. I didn't see it on there, but that is very cool. It's a cool anime, so I'm excited to see that. And Jamie, thank you for joining in. So yeah, Costas Mandylor, that's really awesome. We're gonna get a Mandalorian there. It's gonna be very cool. We'll have a really good time with it. It's gonna be a really great time. That's a great lineup right there so far, and that's not even everybody because you got a lot of months to go. so far we have Amy Steele was announced, Lachlan Monroe, Bill Moseley, Chop Top himself. I can't wait. Kelly Maroney, and now Costas Mandylor. I'm super excited. This is going to be so much stuff, and it's 5 years of fear. So that's it. That's where it's at. And I hope you guys are following along. Follow along on social media so you can keep up to date. Follow along on a website so you can keep up to date. It's a culture. CFF is a culture. We're all fun. It's a fun community, great people, safe environment, always a good time. I've met a lot of great friends there, still friends of mine today, and I cherish those friendships. So get in there and make sure you come out this year to celebrate 5 years. That's it. And make sure you're following and subscribe to the YouTube channel and Facebook page and everything else because we're building up, and I hope you enjoy what we got going on. So anything you want to add, Stephanie, before we take off?
No, I did pull this off my liquor cabinet. So you were talking about Christmas decor and Christmas gifts. Ooh. So you can't go to anybody's house at Christmas without taking, a bottle of wine or something to be hospitable. And so these are like
that is amazing
everywhere, resin and everywhere. Always a good choice. Because if you're going to take a bottle of wine, you might as well make sure that it's, fun. This is some vampire brand wine, but it has little cute little bottle capes. And I mean, there are ways you can actually have a lot of fun, even with your quick gifts that you take out, because this is the season where you've got to have all the white elephants, and you've got to go to a bunch of different people's houses, usually for random parties or get-togethers.
So if I can give you anything, guys, if you're planning on buying a weekend pass, definitely get the early bird before New Year's Eve, 12 o'clock. Once it hits January 1st, you're not going to get the early bird. It's worth it in the next 2 weeks. Or if you're looking for gifts or somebody's looking for gift ideas from you, that's a great gift. So But VIP is where it's at, especially now that I know you're getting Saturday Night Party or another choice. Guys, get with it. Again, make sure to you got to subscribe, you got to follow to be in the know. So thank you guys again. This is I'm Mick Manhattan from the Scene Snobs. You can go check me out over there on this channel. But I love doing horror conversations and working with Carolina Fear Fest. Thank you, Stephanie, for everything. But until next time, I think we're ready to take off. So be cool to each other.
Definitely keep an eye on the horror conversations, because as we move forward, we're going to have, a bunch of things. All the programming stuff starts to fall together, and the celebrity announcements, details about the parties and the after, hour things that we're doing. And so these shows, as we get all the months into 2024, we start going through those months. These shows are going to just be jam-packed with a lot of information, and wherever possible, we've been trying to drop here early. So this is where you actually find out about it first.
I know I've been trying so hard to not move, because we have plans for different topics and stuff like that are garnered towards it. And like, just join us in the new year. It's going to be great. It's going to be so much fun. But until next time, Stephanie, our chief demon, thank you so much. I'm Mick Manhattan. Thank you all, and take care. Good night.
Bye.